Y'all ever seen one of these? This is a useless box. That's all it does. But I bought it anyway. I don't have any idea what that has to do with anything, but yet here we are. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and here we are again with yet another Found in the Wild. But this time, there's a lot of really good shit. But if you want to get to the really good shit, you gotta watch this fancy short video I made of this property I had that I went to check on, and sure enough, the snow melted and it flooded. So, watch this real quick and then I'll show you what we really found in the wild. Fuck me, I was coming out to the farm to check to see if it was flooding. Now I gotta turn around and go all the way back to the highway and go around because I can't get past the road. I came out to my property to check to make sure that the house hasn't flooded, and this is what I found so far. I figured I'd make this quick little video for you guys. You know, look at that raging. Oh, look, there's a whole tree. Okay, we'll follow that. But no, there's the house. I'm gonna film a scary movie there eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about this bank washing away. I say, yep, the basement looks like it's flooded. Well, luckily my antique wagon didn't wash away. Really need to push that up farther away from the creek, whatever, you know. I call it a crick. Some folks call it a creek, but I call it a crick. That's C-R-I-C-K. Now look, if you look at this, you can see this is how far the water came up. And now it's only been sprinkling a little bit for the past 2 days. So the crazy thing is, this is all from the fucking snow melting. And then there's a little drainage pipe over there. Get the water coming off the hill. And look at all this debris. I just raked all this shit out of the yard last month. Now I got to do it again. And look at all the leaves that got up on the barbed wire fence that some jackass put in the middle of the yard because they're stupid. Because yeah, there was a bunch of, I guess I'll tell you the story. There's a bunch of stupid people living in that house. And it took me like 2 years to get rid of them. Over here, it's crazy, like the line of debris. But the one good thing that happened is I had a bunch of stuff cut up over there that I was going to have to mulch up or do something with. And now it's all gone. I don't have to do it now because the creek washed it away. But, you know, I still got to cut all them little trees down over there. I got to get this place, you know, fixed up for the summer because this is going to be party central out here, fellas. So, you just... You know, you stay away from this creek, you slip and fall in there, you gonna drown. But yeah. Now I kind of want to walk back the road. So if I walk back that road, I can show you, you know, other shit. Anyway, don't worry about it. What? Yeah, we're gonna put the cabin. No, I want to put the cabin in that used to be a garden right there. You see it? That right there was a big old garden, size of a football field. And then over there, on the other side of the road, there's another one. But I'm probably going to sell that so that I can, you know, fix the damage caused by a bunch of jackasses that was living in this house for 2 years. I don't know. Just where the old shitter used to be. No, I'm kidding. It was right there at the end of the sidewalk. But anyway, I was telling everybody about the jackasses that we had to get the hell out of here because they was squatting in my daddy's old house. Well, it used to be my grandma's house back in the 80s. If I have any pictures of what it used to look like, I'll be glad to show them to you right here. Oh, look, a golf ball. Oh, nope. It's a half a golf ball. But that's what the inside of a golf ball looks like, in case you're ever wondering. And then I'm going to have to cut this tree down, even though this here been here since I was a little feller. Look, there's the rope for the tire swing. Now, some people might see something else, but I see a rope for a fucking tire swing. But, you know, this is where I grew up, everybody. When I wasn't in school in Cincinnati, I was out here in California, Kentucky, playing in the creek. Except when it was like this, then I'd just stand there and watch it. Anyway, I'm glad I got to share all this with you. All right, wasn't that just wonderful? Hopefully, you know, the basement's not ruined in that house if you stayed for that. Anyway, don't worry about that. Worry about this. I picked up a couple things from Goodwill. One of those things being gone in 60 seconds. One of my favorite and possibly most underrated Nicolas Cage movie. I literally never hear anybody talk about this movie. It's got a great soundtrack, like, you know, that early 2000s, you know, driving music. Anyway, that Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down song by Moby. I really love that song. And it's in that movie. Then up next, I haven't seen this movie since I worked at this gas station, third shift, and I had the fancy Blockbuster and Hollywood Video movie pass, and where my Blockbuster in Hollywood was, I could literally walk out of Blockbuster, walk across the parking lot into Hollywood Video, and I had this little 7-inch DVD player, and I watched this movie on that, and I haven't seen it since. And I figured, you know, now that I got this big, giant 65-inch 4K television, I owe this movie a little bit of a revisit. Because it's Martin Scorsese. And then y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. I ain't never seen Point Break, so I picked this up from the Goodwill. I know I've seen like clips of it on TV, but I never actually sat down and fully got engrossed and watched the movie. I know what it's about. I know who's in it. I know everything about it. I just haven't seen it. But we're gonna change that. And then I picked up Maleficent for the secretary because Sleeping Beauty is her favorite Disney movie, and for some reason, we have still yet to watch this because we feel like everything after the live-action Jungle Book has pretty much been cursed. You know, I don't know what it is, but just every trailer I've watched of all these new brought-to-life Disney cartoons just screams mediocre to me, and I don't watch mediocre movies. But be sure to let me know your thoughts if you've seen that, if you think we should pop it in sooner than later. This is cheating. I did not get this in the wild. I ordered this for $12 off of Amazon Prime because it was just a good price. I couldn't pass it up, and I just happened to see it, and I happened to want it really, really, really bad. Kind of sad that it doesn't have the fancy sleeve that goes over it like some movies that are collector's edition come with. But that's okay, because I watched this and I should have reviewed it. Maybe one of these days I will, but damn, this transfer looks gorgeous. Now, everything else, everybody, if you didn't know, is from Arcade Legacy over there in the Dawn of the Dead Mall in Cincinnati Mills. It's called the Dawn of the Dead Mall because there's only one store in operation, and the rest of the mall is just creepier than hell, and I probably should have filmed a little bit of it. What?
There's two stores.
No, they are not in the mall. There's a fucking Bass Pro Shop at one end of the fucking structure and a fucking Kohl's at the other end of the structure. But inside the mall, there ain't shit but Arcade Legacy. And he's all the time getting shit that he knows that I can't afford, yet he makes me buy them anyway. So, but there's some stuff there that's super affordable. And I haven't seen Legend since I was a tiny little feller. So I'm kind of excited to watch this, especially since everybody thinks like, well, some people think I look like Tim Curry. I don't see it myself personally, but you know, I bet if I painted my face red and glued some horns on, you know, I could pull off the darkness. All right, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. These are surprise possessions. Actually, there's one thing in here that I'm not really that whatever, but from people telling me that, oh, you gotta get past the first one. Oh, you're gonna like it. Don't worry, but we'll get to that. But first, because I had picked up the first one at Walmart for $12. And then I had to pay $60 for this, even though I got it for Christmas on DVD. But I already had, no, I didn't. I guess I didn't have I got the fancy survival kit for Christmas, but that's just for decoration. This is for popping in and watching. As soon as I got home with it, I popped it in and watched it. And it was just absolutely wonderful. It looks so incredible. Almost even better than it did when I watched, because I watched it on Amazon Prime, I guess, when I did my actual review series, which is down there somewhere. But I just noticed after I watched this, I said, well, let's go back and see what my thoughts were on it when I watched it. And my review is completely, what do you call it? When something is just fucked up. Okay, my review's fucked up. My mouth is moving, but the words aren't moving to my mouth because it's a little bit delayed. And so I couldn't even watch it myself. It was just too distracting. So maybe one of these days we'll have to sit down and re-review the Sleepaway Camp series. Picked up Sleepaway Camp 3. I mean, if you got 1 and 2, you gotta have 3. And then that asshole Christian Hanna from Christian Hanna Horror, he just picked up Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I had in the palm of my hands. And I could have just easily slipped it into my fucking book bag when I was stealing all the movies that Blockbuster was going to destroy when they were going out of business. But I was like, you know what? That movie was fucking terrible. So I left it there. And now it's like $50 fucking dollars. It's all right. I got the first 3. That's all that fucking matters. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I know I gave this movie a bad rap in my review series, if you've seen it. But when I watched it this time, I was all aboard. I mean, I was watching it with a 10-year-old, and he was all having to cover his own eyes every time there was boobs on the screen. But we both loved it this time. I don't know if it was just because I watched it with another person and I didn't watch it by myself, but I had a ball with this one, even though it was, butchered by the MPAA, and you could tell everybody was exhausted from filming the second one because they filmed these back to back. But enough of me rambling on about fucking Sleepaway Camp. Let me tell you something, boy. Oh, look, isn't that fancy? Yeah. I picked up the Phantasm collection. It didn't have the fancy box that the ball and the movies came in, but I was like, well, whatever, If it saves me $25, I paid $100 for this. But it's all right. It's all right. I've been saving up over the course of the past several months to keep going back once a week and buying fucking overpriced movies that I should have already had like the day they came out. But like I said, I've watched it twice now, or maybe 3 times. Maybe I watched it when I was younger and I just don't remember. But the 2 times I watched it on DVD, then I got the regular standalone Anchor Bay Blu-ray, and I don't see what's so great about it, but everybody keeps telling me, oh, watch the second and the third one, man, and then you're gonna love it. So, but I love the ball. I mean, just imagine if that was like... Here's the funny thing. I had only planned on picking up that Phantasm, and I was looking through eBay the other day because there's one movie in particular that I need, and I needed it since the day it came out. And I've been telling the secretary, I need this fucking movie. I said, this fucking quality Blu-ray I got over here fucking sucks. I need the fancy one, and I got to have it, and it's $50 on eBay. But Jesse was nice enough to sell it to me for $25, so it makes up for, spending that much on that. But you gotta figure if those movies were $20 a piece anyway, that's how much that would have cost. But anyway, it's beside the point. Let's talk about this movie. Come to find out, the quality of this is only slightly better than the quality of the Walmart brand Blu-ray, as I like to call it. But there's also the DVD that has the same cover as that, and I feel like the DVD might have had, maybe it was because my eyes weren't adjusted. It was like, the last time I watched it, it wasn't like a full 4K television. I don't know what the hell it is. The last time I tried to watch that Blu-ray, it looked like shit, but now it's like almost the same, and it's got the same type special features. But what it doesn't have is this fancy ass box. This is one of my favorite original artworks from like, Arrow or Scream Factory, like this right here. Because I also have the option to, put the original poster out there. But anyway, that's beside the point. This comes with the soundtrack, and that one doesn't. And this has one of the most underrated, best soundtracks in a horror movie. And a lot of people say that the fucking soundtrack doesn't fit this movie, and that might be true for some scenes, but you gotta understand what they were going for. They were going for this dark, morbid shit, but then they wanted to add the lighthearted elements so that you're not just completely disgusted with your life the entire time you're sitting there watching this fucking terrible, brutal, vile shit that I absolutely fucking love. So yeah, Last House on the Left. One of my new prized possessions. So anyway, what did y'all think of that? Are you excited that one of these days maybe I'll sit down and review some of these movies, and then I'll fucking pop this bad boy out with the fucking microphone over there, and then I'll sound and look professional? Wouldn't that be something? But until then, just make sure you like this video, subscribe. That way I know, you know, that you care. If you're new here, I don't something about Patreon. One of these days I'm gonna get good at this. I swear to God. I swear to God. I've been saying it for 3 years. One of these days I'll be right. Get the fuck out.